The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes.
This movie's about necrophilia, isn't it?
I just found that out. So I guess so.
All right, sorry. This week on the show...
It's alive!
Hey friends, and welcome back to the Filmatics podcast. I'm here with Addy, the creature themselves, made up of all different parts, mostly other people's penises. How are you?
We're just
What's going on?
unplugging all the cords from the foreskins.
Yes, that's absolutely. No, you've got a dick here, just like underneath your arm on the rib cage there, so you can make a little money on the side. Ooh, it's a proper joke, everybody. If you're an undead prostitute, which is
okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, which is the name of the Frankenstein movie that I'm going to make. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on, y'all? We're talking about GDT's Frankenstein, a Netflix joint from 2025. Fucking exceptional picture. I love it so much. We'll get into it, but it feels funny to say how are you doing because we literally just recorded an episode on the Zodiac. So how were you in the interim while I had to call the plumber?
I got a confession to make.
That's not a euphemism. I had to call my plumber. Because he's coming to install something tomorrow and I needed to ask him a question.
Right. I have a confession to make. So I guess we'll start with this.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love Frankenstein confessionals. Yeah.
This is my first GDT film.
Oh, my God. Okay. This is the end of the Filmatics podcast. 81 episodes. We had a great run. And fuck this. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. That's super surprising to me, given how big of a sort of fantasy, horror head you are.
Yeah. I tried to watch Hellboy like when I was young. I couldn't get into it. And then
You dig it more now.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth. Blade 2. Fucking Blade 2 up in here. Oh, my poor cat just got frightened because I'm shouting Blade 2. He hates it when I shout about Blade pictures. Just walking around the house going, Midnight Suns. Okay. Okay. Wait a second. So what? That is insane to me that this is your first GDT. It's a great one to start with, to then look at this and then go backwards from here and just see how we got here, because this has always been on the cards.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna do that now. I tried to watch Crimson Peak at one point, but I heard somebody say it's about incest, and so I didn't.
Yes and no. But I mean, it's also like it's a gothic romance picture, but I mean, fucking Nightmare Alley's fantastic. Shape of Water is excellent. I know people make fun of it because it's like a fish sex movie or whatever, but like fucking grow up. Like, it makes perfect sense if you watch it to the end. Blade 2 is good. The Hellboy movies are good. Pan's Labyrinth is epic. It's just so great.
No,
even Mimic is really good.
It's not my first GDT.
What's that?
I just realized that.
Oh, okay, good. I'll delete the last 5 minutes of me losing my mind and
you're
scaring my cat.
You're gonna be so pissed off though.
What is it?
My first GDT was fucking Pacific Rim.
Oh, man. I mean, Pacific Rim's a pretty dope-ass movie. Except, who the fuck decided that Charlie Hunnam should have a movie career? I mean, this motherfucker now...
Okay, listen. I will take almost anything up the ass.
You beat me! You beat me by 2 seconds. Butternut squash. I love a butternut squash, me.
Mate.
To eat, not up my ass.
You said butternut squash, it fucking started raining so heavily. I'm not even kidding.
That's my mutant power. I just say butternut squash and the weather changes. How much less heroic would Storm be if every time she wanted something to happen, she was like, yes, lightning rain down on mine enemies, butternut squash. And she had to do that. Oh, okay.
Charlie Hunnam is a really good actor.
He's not. He's rubbish.
He is not.
I think he's rubbish. What's a good performance of his apart from Lost City of Z?
I haven't seen that.
Which I genuinely think it's a genuinely great movie.
King Arthur.
No.
Yes.
No.
The Gentleman.
That movie is like someone trying to make a Guy Ritchie movie.
That is true. That's very true.
Yeah.
It's fucked up that Guy Ritchie did do that. But
I know, that's the irony of it.
yeah, but it's also after Aladdin, and like they promised him like a trilogy, but then that one made $1 billion, but wasn't really that good. So, so yeah. No.
Well, it's just, if it's not Robin Williams. Anyway, forget all that. GDT's awesome. Pacific Rim's cool. And we're gonna talk about Frankenstein, which is very excellent. But do you have any what were we watching? Because we did some a minute ago.
Yeah, I kind of do. But also, I love your pronunciation of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. That's a joke from Young Frankenstein, the Mel Brooks film.
No idea.
Oh man, so great. Mel Brooks directed and wrote. It's Gene Wilder plays the son of Victor Frankenstein, and because of all the controversy, he makes everybody pronounce it Frankenstein.
Oh shit! Okay,
but it's a comedy. But it's shot like an old Hammer horror film, like it's in black and white, and but it is absolutely hysterical. He has a dance number with the creature.
Okay, I'm already sold.
It's so good, it's Putting on the Ritz is the song, da 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 da. Putting on the Ritz, like it's just anybody who's seen that movie, you're never the same afterwards. So yeah, we're going to talk about it in a second. We already know how we both are because we caught up on the last episode. We hope you're well.
After the last episode, yeah. You're all.
We hope you're well after listening to our Zodiac episode, which is probably one of the most serious shits ever. But it was a movie about a legitimate serial killer and not a cobbled together monster person. But yeah, we're going to talk about what I've been watching. So what?
What are?
No, I say no. What
are
we
watching?
Yes. Don't do it with a question mark at the end. Actually, no, it should be with a question mark at the end because people don't know yet. What are we watching? You have to go first this time because I went first last time.
I have been watching Welcome to Derry. Eat Welcome to Derry.
Oh, is it good?
It's really good, man. Like genuinely. It's good. It's good to see Muschietti like back in his horror roots. After the film that we don't talk about.
The Flash was pretty fucking horrific.
Yep. Oh my god, I just got that actually.
It's a good joke. That. And this is the motherfucker who's going to be directing the next Batman movie.
He doesn't stop talking about it though. I know
it's probably because they're like he's trying to keep the job.
That's true. I know.
No takesies, backsies.
I don't know, man. I feel like the Batman stuff in The Flash was good. I just don't see it was just misplaced, I'd say. But absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. If we get honestly, I don't fucking know. But yeah.
But what's Welcome to Derry like?
It's so interesting because like you said like a while back, in a Green Knight episode, I think. That it's an anthology, so like this one takes place like this is the cycle before the actual story of it, like from the books, and then from here we go to the previous and then to the previous. So but this has flashbacks from 1902 and takes place like in the 50s.
Do you think when they get back to sort of where it began, it'll just be Pennywise when he was a human?
Well, that's the thing, though. I don't think they'll ever do that. I think Pennywise is a menacing figure. I think if they try to humanize just like even that aspect of it, because like from what I can understand from like the books and like from the book and from what they're trying to do is that like he took over the body of Pennywise, who was the actual person who played the clown. Like it's because like that's not human. I don't think that's like a. Have you seen chapter 2 yet?
I have, but it's really vague in my memory because they didn't really blow me away, those films.
Yeah, because like they find out that it is an actual like alien entity. So like it's
stupid.
Yeah.
That's really stupid.
It's not human. So like it takes forms and like feeds off what is it, fear? Yeah, feeds off fear.
Like parademons.
Holy fuck. Yeah, you're right.
You know what's funny? I was talking to someone about this the other day. It was on the Podcast Assembled episode, and we were talking about just how much cocaine Stephen King actually did. And if you read his books, it goes from like decade hopping demon clown thing to child orgy with an ancient turtle to alien creature in this thing. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Do you even know what words are? And yet, one of the most prolific writers of all time.
It's also like Dick Hallorann is in this, and that's the only reason I'm watching this.
Yeah, of course.
And they're
Can he shine yet? Awesome. That's awesome.
Oh my god, man! I really do want you to watch it because the way that they have injected Dick Hallorann into. Christ. The way
I was on set with someone the other day. I must tell you this. I was on set with someone the other day, beautiful human being named Parry, and he was that's Parry with a P, not a B. And I was standing there having a legitimately serious conversation with the production manager, and Barry was behind us at the craft foods table. And he picked up a muesli bar, giggled, and opened it and started eating it. And I stopped and I was like, you just laughed because that thing's called a nut bar, didn't you? And he was like, yeah, you know me so well. I'm like, this guy is a professional first AD and he's very, very good at the job. Fucking killed me. And it's something that I would do, you know what I mean? I was trying to maintain a professional veneer because I'm still getting to know these people. But then as soon as people are laughing at nut bar, I'm like, whatever, all bets are off. But yeah. When he said injected dick, I was just all the jokes that banged up against the side of my head like fish in a fishbowl trying to get out. I must tell you, injected dick. Sorry, so they've injected this because I'm assuming that the story wouldn't originally have had him in it. Like he's not featured in it, the book or anything.
Yeah, he's not. But the way that they've utilized this character is quite interesting, and they're like open connections, and it's like quite literally like one of the most innovative connective tissue from like one Stephen King property to the other. And there's a mention of Shawshank as well, and yeah,
wow,
yeah, it's all.
So they're really digging in.
Yeah, it's also like the guy who played Sydney in Babylon. What instrument did he play? It's not a trumpet.
The trumpet.
Is it?
Yeah, it was a trumpet. Yeah.
All right. So like
pretty sure
the trumpet player. He is on the show as well, and it's those two, like the guy like Dick Hallorann and that character are like one part of this like story that's like in 3 parts that's all connecting, but it's like genuinely really, really well paced. And
awesome.
The shit that they're pulling with it is quite intriguing.
Can't wait. Sounds great.
So, yeah, I watched that. And on my flight, I watched Age of Ultron and Thunderbolts, actually. Because I watched Age of Ultron because that's like, for the longest time, that's been like the one film that everybody hates except me. And I rewatched it.
I don't hate it.
I rewatched it. And I genuinely felt like it was my favorite Avengers film. And then I watched Thunderbolts and I was like, oh no, this one is.
That's good. I'm glad you feel that way. I still think Thunderbolts is, the best thing they've done in a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, like it's I say that it's the best Avengers film only because by the end of it was revealed that they're the new Avengers. But like the
if that tracks, like who knows where they're going to end up? It's all so up in the air. No one's going to know until the fucking Doomsday comes out and we get some idea about it. You know,
watching those two back to back, I thought of a question I wanted to ask you. What's your favorite Avengers movie? Or we can put out like Thunderbolts from that equation because it's technically not an Avengers film.
I think it's probably Infinity War because it brings together all those, you know, however many years of storytelling all in this one movie, and they fucking lose. You know, that final piece of score, the porch, and Thanos sits down and he's won, and the movie ends. I was like, "Are you my heart sank." Like, exceptionally well told, complicated storytelling going on there. So. Yeah, and the fight in Wakanda, like, fucking forget about it. Like, it's just... I know that it's just grey amorphous blob people, but you need to put motherfuckers up against your good guys. And the fight for Vision's soul, like, that's what that whole thing is. And actually, more than anything, it's the fight for Wanda's soul. And they lost that too, because then you get WandaVision. Like, it's... Yeah, I really like that movie a lot. I like... Ultron's would be my second favourite. Endgame's great, but it's its own thing. I feel like the Endgame is.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
What should have been like, you know, the culmination of this whole thing and a nice tidy bow, but you know, obviously that's never going to happen. But still, if you just watch up to that movie and then stop, it's totally fine. But yeah, Ultron's great. Fucking James Spader kills it. It's super overwritten in places and very Joss Whedon-y and cute and like that happened kind of comedy, but yeah, it's a well constructed thing, and a villain that has real agency, and yeah, I dig it.
I genuinely do feel like it's my favorite, and I love Infinity War because like it genuinely did bring together like this mythology that they had sown from like starting from fucking Iron Man to like Guardians. And it brings all of it together. But like there's something about Age of Ultron, man, because it not only is it a setup to like all the payoffs that we get in Endgame, like picking up Thor's hammer, like Cap picking up Thor's hammer. You have like, and then it sets up one of the most incredibly powerful performance that's ever been done in MCU movies, which is with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans in Civil War. That's the like Age of Ultron is the beginning of that. I feel like the balance between comedy and like seriousness is really, really, really well done. But you know what it is? I genuinely believe that this is the reason why I love this film. It's Vision.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Everything is out of balance until he comes into play. And he is quite literally the soul of the team by the end of it. Because he goes inside a fucking falling city to save Wanda.
And I also like the moment where he comes out of the cradle and boom, and like the smoke clears, and it cuts to all these close-ups, and then it cuts to Wanda like heaving and like in her head, I wonder if she's like, I'm gonna fuck that robot at some stage. Like she's immediately into it, and then that's the saving him and stuff. And for me, it has the best line in an MCU film of all time, which is a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. There's grace in their failings. I think you missed that. You're unbearably naive. Yes, I am, but I was born yesterday. Like Paul Bettany absolutely slaying it. He's still my favorite character in the MCU.
Yeah, like that but like that performance going into WandaVision and seeing how like that's going to go now into Vision Quest, I feel like
can't wait.
There's so much there, and it's like so understated until you get to WandaVision, which is like the most like emotionally charged thing they've ever done.
In terms of it being like about something, like more than just punches and kicks, which you can do in TV because you have more time to develop things. Same way that Moon Knight is really, really good at talking about mental illness, and how Cap and the Winter Soldier is really good at talking about what it is to be in the military and what that means. And yeah, like there's some great stuff in the MCU. There really, really is. Even post Endgame, when it got kind of confusing and a bit, even they admit there was too much too soon. But there's some pockets of beauty there that you can't mistake.
I came out of like that flight and out of that viewing like with the newfound love for Vision, and I understood why he was your favorite character.
Yeah, and the fact that they were smart enough to listen to Joss Whedon when he said, whether or not you do a sequel, you have to include Vision, and it should be voiced by Paul Bettany, or it should be played by Paul Bettany, and they did it. Like, Bettany's had a great career. He's been in some excellent pictures, but he was on the downturn in that he just couldn't get hired. And now he's the Vision forever. He steals the end of that movie,
Yeah.
He'll be wanting to come after me. Yes, he hates you the most. Like, just like pitch perfect. Absolutely pitch perfect. Viz, I've told you before to come through the door. Well, the door was open. Like, he's just, And that scene as well where he's like, in the years since Tony Stark came out as Iron Man, there has been more and more like world-ending events. He's like, is it our fault? And he's like, no, I'm saying there's a causality. Power invites conflict, and conflict breeds catastrophe. Just somebody there who can articulate the reality of what's going on, is fantastic. There's got to be a smartest man in the room.
Yeah. And like I feel like in all of that, he's the voice of reason. Like he is.
He certainly tries to be.
Yeah. Like he is. He is the anchor of the soul that once possessed the Avengers Tower.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, he's he's Jarvis allowed to feel. He's Jarvis allowed to have an actual personality, which is great. Anyway, we've been talking about the Avengers for like 20 minutes. What else did you watch?
That was it.
Awesome. Yeah, they're good. Me and Em did the Avengers run and Cap as well earlier in the year, and it's just, at the end of Endgame, she says it every time. She was like, "Fuck, that's a good movie." Like you forget how good it is when you watch him in a run like that. So, for me, I did some watching. I'm gonna talk about The Running Man. From 2025, Edgar Wright joint with what might be the best looking dude in Hollywood, Glenn Powell. It's totally fine. It's a totally fine action romp. It's nothing at all like the Arnie film from 1987, which I watched recently as well. Doesn't have any of the camp. It's more of an adaptation of the book than it is a remake of the movie. And it's totally fine. It looks like everything else. Which is be interesting considering we're about to get into a film that's cinematography is so distinct and so designed, whereas this just sort of people like to just light things to have them look. I don't know how to describe it. There's no contrast. There's no tonality to things. There's no dedication to lighting a scene because of the way it needs to feel. It's just, let's get cameras on these dudes so we can see everything and catch the geography and we're all good. Like, it just looks really plain. And most movies are like that. And then something like GDT's Frankenstein comes out and you go, oh shit, you can still do this in digital. Like, I don't know if it was shot on film. It might have been, but the point is that you can still find black space in digital filmmaking. I do it all the time because I love contrast. If you watch my stuff, it's really high contrast, like single light sources and shit. But anyway, it's a perfectly fine movie. People are talking about how it's a huge failure or whatever. Fucking who cares?
Didn't it just
check it out? I also did it. Yeah, and it made like $23 million opening weekend or something, which is apparently, they might as well have fucking fucked its mum. Like, it's just, it's so ridiculous. Box office has so little to do with whether or not a film is good. Like, The Smashing Machine bombed, and that movie is really good. It's a really good movie. But anyway, check out the episode I did on podcast Assemble for that with DL and Tommy. And the other thing that I watched is the Before trilogy. Yeah, look at that. I knew you'd love that. Richard Linklater's Before trilogy. So Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight, spanning 20 some odd years. A friend of mine, Cece, who's my yoga teacher and very, very, very dear friend, suggested them, that they're her favorite films. And I watched them all in a day, just one after the other. And it was bliss. Just old school, classic filmmaking, two great actors in a frame with great chemistry performing, Ethan Hawke, Julie Delpy. I really loved it. The second one's kind of my favorite. I feel like it's the most truthful. The third one's really good because it gives you so much backstory in that first opening car drive where he eats the kid's apple and stuff, and it's just so great. By the time you get to the final act of that and they're in the hotel room, it's too venomous.
Yeah. She
becomes a villain in a lot of ways. Like she's horrible to him. Like and he's not great to her either, but at least he's trying. But they make her an insane person. And I have no idea why you need to do that because she hasn't presented that way the entire trilogy. So I do have a bit of a beef with that one. But the series itself and watching it all in one go was a beautiful day at the movies for Reeks, that's for sure.
I did that too. I watched all of them in one day. I was like, because I realized like each of them had a 9-year gap in between. I was like, maybe I'll like watch it in like 2 years. And then I was like, I finished the first one. I was like, but I want more. I want to know what happened.
Yeah. I kind of want to know what's going on now because they're in their 50s. Are they still together?
Yeah.
What are their kids doing? What are the twins doing? I loved the conversation around the table with all of their friends, in the villa. And the young couple and how she's, says he wants me to fly back to Chicago. And you see Ethan Hawke, he's just like, I didn't say that. And they get back, you know what I mean? Like it just rings very true about me and Emily don't really argue. Like we're not, I think we had enough arguments in our previous relationships, to be perfectly honest, and we're kind of tired of them. We have disagreements sometimes and we have to kind of figure shit out. And being apart is the most difficult thing that we deal with, is that we're apart for a lot. But I think we've kind of found a groove with that over the last few years. So we don't fight that way. We don't fight like they dramatize in this film. But it feels like what that used to feel like when I was in other relationships, do you know? So yeah, I loved it. So thanks, CC. I love you. I hope you're feeling better. She was unwell, so I don't know if she listens to the show. I did show her a bunch of clips from the show, and I showed her that reel I made of you as a pirate and my pirate voice, and then you wouldn't steal a car, and we met because we worked in a video store together years and years ago. So she thought that was hysterical because she understood the reference, and the banana nude, of course.
Yeah,
which is when you take all your clothes off to have a banana. Everyone, anyway. That's what we've been watching. We're going to do some news really quickly because we're already quite busy in this episode. What's up?
I know. I just wanted to say the Before trilogy made me understand what love can be for somebody who hadn't yet experienced love in that way. So that was it was quite intense, and I feel like that trilogy is something that everybody should experience once in their lifetime.
Oh, I completely agree. And it's the end of the second one, where she's pretending to be Nina Simone. And she's like, "You're going to miss your plane, baby." And he's like, "I know." And that's it. Like, that's love. Like, he never let her go. He never let her go. That's love transcends time and space. And it can't be ignored. And, like my parents split up when I was young, and I was angry at my dad about it. And then I got over it because it's like, well, what the fuck? He was younger than I was when I was getting mad about it, when it all happened. And I remember someone said to me, they're like, "Aren't you still mad at your dad for leaving your mum, breaking up your family?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking high? Like, he wasn't in love with her anymore. Like, and she wasn't in love with him. Like, what, we want to stay together and be fucking miserable around kids?" Like, that's not an answer either. Like, it's you've got to go where the love is, and I think my dad found that with his my stepmom. That's what happens to people sometimes. Hearts get broken, hearts mend, and, great love comes in and out of our lives, and it can be all sorts of different things as well. And you might discover later in life that it's not a woman, or it's not a man, or maybe it's both, or whatever. It's like, As soon as you start putting constraints on that thing, it becomes a monster in a basement who can only scream your name, you know? Anyway, enough of all that. We'll talk about some stuff and things. Right now, it's for the Nerd News. Did you know that Jacob Elordi refused to audition for Superman because he was like, "Nah, I don't want to be a superhero and tie myself to a franchise for the next 10 years of my life." I gotta respect that.
Hey man, what do you think about him as Dick Grayson though?
He's too tall. Be fucking towering over Batman.
Have you seen Dick Grayson in the Tom Taylor run, dude? He is fucking tall.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. No, I just mean like he could play Dick. Yeah, absolutely. But he'd have to be the Nightwing Dick. He couldn't be Robin.
Yeah, no, obviously not Robin.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they're never gonna give it to Thomas Hill, and he's never gonna do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he could be Batman, but he's not going to do that now. So yeah, just a couple of really quick things. Exciting times, I must admit. James Cameron says that he and Robert Rodriguez have a sworn blood oath to make Alita 2, which is pretty cool. Robert Rodriguez and I have sworn a blood oath to do at least one more Alita movie. We're thinking of an architecture that bridges to a third film, but we'll be satisfied if we can make one more, and we're making progress on that. Yeah, Battle Angel Alita 2. Did you see the first one?
I did.
I really kind of like it. I think it's really good.
I liked it too. It's different from what people imagine it to be, and I don't think it's like the anime. It's just it needs to have like a driving voice, you know. It just not everything that you do needs to be family friendly and for all ages. Like you need to have some sort of voice, you know, like how Frankenstein does for quite the film.
Yeah. I mean, Frankenstein is. Guillermo del Toro only makes Guillermo del Toro movies. You know what I mean? And Robert Downey Jr. Robert Rodriguez used to only make Robert Rodriguez movies, but now he makes
James Cameron
Battle Angel
movies.
Alita, which is kind of exactly. But I'd be very happy with another one of those. Apparently, and this comes from the one and only, the very man himself. According to Nexus Point News, DC Studios has started the casting process for a new Wonder Woman who will appear in The Man of Tomorrow. Casting details add that they're looking for someone in their late 20s to early 30s with a height requirement of tall. The character is also described as a warrior with strong physique. Of course that's Wonder Woman, surely. Who else would it be?
Zatanna?
Well, maybe I should shut the fuck up then. I mean, that would actually make a little bit more sense. That would make a little bit more sense given that the next bit of information I'm about to give to you is pretty outrageous. Pierce Brosnan says that Dr. Fate will appear in the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. In an interview with QC, fucking moron, GQ, he said, I know, that was pretty dumb. QC is when you quality control something, and I that's what I do for our episodes. But yeah, no, GQ, Brosnan says he heard that Dr. Fate will appear in the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. I've never banged down anyone's door. I mean, you know where to find me. I heard Dr. Fate is going to have his own show and his own movie, and I've heard he's going to be in the next Superman. Does that mean they're recasting?
Didn't he fucking die?
That doesn't mean anything in superhero shit. Come on, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back.
That's a fair argument.
As Doom.
Yeah, but like he is... Can you do that one more time, please?
What?
As Doom?
Now I said Doom. He's come back as Doom. I did a voiceover job for one of the theater promos that I produced. It was for Clue. You know the movie Clue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Colonel Mustard and Mr. Green, Scarlet and all that stuff. And they did a production of it, and I made it like an old timey noir film trailer.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like pitched my voice. Yeah, you saw it. And it was like, murder, intrigue, a candlestick. And I did that voice. And then at the end, it was, who is the killer? Find out in Clue. And the way that I say Clue, Emily makes me do that all the time because she just thinks it's fucking hysterical.
I did not know that was you, dude. That's fucking incredible.
I do all the voiceovers because it's like, what am I going to use? AI? Get fucked.
Oh my God, dude.
Certainly not. We'll talk about that with GDT. Like, man, I'm on his bandwagon. But yeah, anyway, Zatanna would be cool, and it would make sense if Dr. Fate's going to be in the next one that there's a magic element. Superman hasn't really dealt with that in any of his movies.
Yeah.
Supergirl, the movie notwithstanding. And just a little bit more DC news and what we're going to file under, we haven't done one of these in a little while. We're going to file under no shit. Zachary Levi says he wants to return as Shazam in James Gunn's DCU. If James and the powers that be say, hey, we'd love to bring you back as Shazam, or if there was some other DC character, I love comic books, of course, because...
No, you fucking don't.
I can't imagine that he wouldn't want to do that. Like, of course that's the case.
He single-handedly sabotaged his career.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
How so? Sorry, I just heard a meow. Hello?
Yeah.
There's 3 of you. How can I not find one? It's fucking ridiculous. I'm looking around for a cat, and there's normally at least 2 in like earshot. I heard a meow. Anyway, how did he sabotage his career?
Well, he went to Instagram Live like almost every fucking week and talked about supporting Trump and the Christ way. So yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Not only that.
Outrageous.
He got the fucking Rapunzel film cancelled on Disney because he was attached to that.
Jesus Christ. Fucking Rapunzel and cancelling Rapunzel and following Trump.
Yeah, that's
outrageous.
That's also the reason why the Fury of the Gods they make much money because
of Donald Trump.
Well, because he was also like preaching about it, like while they were promoting this film that was gonna go downhill anyway because James Gunn was taking over and it was like the last batch of the bad films that were supposed to come out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that and Aquaman 2 and stuff. Yeah. Crazy.
It's crazy how
supporting
in that there was Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle is like by far one of the best DCEU films that James Gunn said, nope, that's ours.
Yeah. Having it. Bagsies. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, from one monster to another, it's Frankenstein. We'll talk about Frankenstein. And it's excellent. Guillermo del Toro directed and written, based on the original source material. The source, my cereal and sauce that I have sometimes. The source material, written by Mary Shelley, is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I watched it again last night, and I just sunk in for a night with Victor, and what a piece of shit he is. It's exceptional work. Oscar Isaac playing Victor Frankenstein. You've got Jacob Elordi playing the creature. Incredible performance. He should get an Oscar nod for this, but he won't because it's a Netflix movie. Maya Goff playing dual roles of both Elizabeth, the love interest of both Victor and the creature, and also playing Victor's mother. Yep. Which is spectacular. And Christoph Waltz playing the uncle, playing a dick.
Yep.
Yeah, man, he's getting full syphilis. I love that. One night with Venus and a lifetime with Mercury. That's excellent. But yeah, just like straight out of the gate, Guillermo del Toro is one of the most articulate, intelligent, dedicated storytellers in the history of the medium. He cares so much about story that nothing is without meaning. He is staunchly against AI He believes in craft and the journey of storytelling and the lessons that you learn along the way instead of jumping to the middle. And he even said at the screening that they did in New York City, he said, "Thank you so much, enjoy the movie," and then turned back to the camera and said, "And fuck AI," and bounced. I love his chutzpah. He doesn't need to do that. He's doing it because he cares about the industry and he cares about all the people that work in it, like all the people that built his sets and that light his sets and that help move equipment in and out and who feed everybody and all of these people who, you know, there's that great clip that I saw where it's a person like, you know, "Oh, you want to make a movie? Yeah, I do. Oh, well, AI can do it for you. Yeah, but I want to do it. Oh, yeah, but AI can. Yeah, but I want to do it." Like that. If you are a creative person, you don't need AI. And if you do, you're doing it wrong. I'm sure there is application for this technology in other places, and it's certainly going to, you know, like Ben Affleck said, it will mitigate the cost of certain things. You know, you want to be in visual effects right now because it's going to end up doing a lot of your work, or maybe that's what you want. I don't know. But in terms of like taking out the chore-like jobs of building shot lists or building call sheets and all that kind of stuff, like I totally get it. But as soon as you start calling yourself an AI artist or you start using it to create, you've gone over to the dark side. It's a mistake. So if you do use it, you know, in that capacity, whatever. But I don't agree with it as a creator myself. So yeah, I just wanted to say that about GDT. And he's also, him and David Fincher are probably my favorite filmmakers. I've been on the Guillermo del Toro bandwagon since Blade 2. I love Blade 1, but Blade 2 blew my head off because it was just doing some shit that I wasn't expecting for a sequel to do. And then I went back and investigated his previous work, Devil's Backbone. I hadn't been able to see Chronos. Maybe you can find a copy of Chronos for me because I just can't find it anywhere. The only places I can find it, it's only in Spanish and there's no subtitles. And the Criterion 4K is like $80 or something. Yeah, Devil's Backbone, Mimic, I think is still really good. You know, Pan's Labyrinth is fantastic. The Hellboy movies are really good. Yeah, it's just he's an exceptional filmmaker, and I respect him so much as a storyteller. How do you feel about Frankenstein? Have you seen any of the other Frankenstein movies?
I think I've seen the 30s one, but I was very young. Because I remember like parts of it, and I kind of remember the girl drowning. Does that happen?
Yeah, he fucking pitches her in the lake. Yeah.
Okay.
Poor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
We don't get that in this movie, really. You get the blind man, but yeah.
I've seen that, and I've seen Good Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's, very, very much a Frankenstein story. Yeah, I sort of more meant like the adaptations that have been done before, like he's kind of in Van Helsing. What's his name? The guy who directed Thor. Help me out. Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say, there's a Kenneth Branagh one as well.
Kenneth Branagh did one with fucking, and it was Robert De Niro was the creature. It's a fantastic movie.
That's insane.
Really excellent. The stage play is really good as well with Johnny Lee Miller and Benedict Cumberbatch, and they would switch roles depending on what night it was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Did you know that there are over 9,991 adaptations of Frankenstein to screen?
That's wild. I guess it's been done in every language, and yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it's a universal story, you know, about someone who came into this world, didn't ask for it, and then had to kind of figure it the fuck out, which is kind of what we're all doing here. And this is such a big deal that Netflix, even though you rightly said in your Letterboxd review that they're motherfuckers for not giving it a wider release, it's doing the rounds at the cinema here, but not at like 10 in the morning or something. Hey, mate, you're just loving a pat, aren't you? So I got Paulie here. It's such a big deal to them. They changed their logo for the shit. It starts with the fucking coming through the batteries. Yeah, so great. And Guillermo used a lot of Barry Windsor Smith drawings as examples. You can find it online and you can sort of see the comparisons. But let's just have a quick, before we get into the story, let's just talk about this cast for a second. So yeah, you've got GDT, just, miraculous filmmaker and human being, like generally leads with his heart. There's an excellent making of documentary about Hellboy in which he receives a maquette that has been sculpted so that he knows what Abe Sapien's going to look like. And he's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And he starts crying because he just loves it so much. Like that's how dedicated this guy is to, the beauty of his craft. Jacob Elordi, who I really only have experience with because of Euphoria. I know he's done stuff here. He was in a show that a screenwriting friend of mine wrote called The Narrow Road to the Deep North, which is about, it's a World War II story. But so I've never seen him in other things. And like we were saying before, he said no to Superman. I think he's interested in doing more exploratory work. And he was in an interview, and I can't remember what show it was on, but they were talking about how the process of getting in the creature makeup took 11 hours, like the full body. And they were like, oh man, and then you got to go to work? Like, that's crazy. And he's like, nah, it was perfect amount of time to forget about all this, about the lights and everything, and just be and seed in the character. Like that's proper acting. And you see the young guy, he's on set with a little stills camera on his days off and just taking these pictures, and you see him hugging Guillermo del Toro. Like he feels like what Heath Ledger used to feel like, that he's dedicated to the craft. Even though he's got to do some stuff because he's pretty, he's going to, make better choices because he wants to be an actor. He doesn't want to be a celebrity or a famous person or a rich person. So, yeah, I really loved him. Have you had much sort of like experience with him outside of this and Euphoria?
I have known him since Kissing Booth Part 1.
Oh, of course, the Kissing Booth.
So he got Euphoria after that. And then they did the third one while he was still doing Euphoria. And it's a Netflix rom-com. There was a time where they used to do 15 of those every year. And none of them were good. And like one of them would have been okay, but none of them were like really good. But like he was genuinely like the best parts of like that trilogy. He was great in Saltburn. Yeah, it's a weird fucking movie, Saltburn. I give it a 5-star because it was just that like I was swept by fucking public opinion. But yeah, it demands you to look past what they're showing and like what's actually happening and what they're actually trying to say. Which is not very good. It's just But he's always been there and like been the best parts of, or like one of the best parts of every project that he's been a part of. Like I haven't seen Priscilla, but people have praised his performance as Elvis in that. And yeah, like obviously Euphoria. Like there's no way that you watch Euphoria and you don't hate him, like hate his character. And that's just that's a sign of a good actor.
But then you see what he's dealing with his father, and you're like, oh, and you legitimately feel sympathy for him too. Like he's not reprehensible. He's not soulless. Yeah. He's just angry and confused, and you kind of get that. So yeah, exceptional young actor, married beautiful, and just has the most incredible chemistry with Oscar Isaac, who is remarkably good in this film. He's so on the level, and so he fucking gets it. He knows what he's there for. This is theater. This is big. This is operatic. Look at the fucking sets. Look at the lenses we're using. These huge long lenses, these 16s and these 15s and these 12, 10 millimeter lenses, these big expansive sets on a like a really high stop. So everything's in focus, and we're tracking with him, and he's just got the hat and the into camera, and the dude is a fucking movie star. I love it. However, this time around watching it, in the voiceover, I was like, oh, he sounds like Stewie from Family Guy. I was like, oh shit. And then I couldn't unhear it as he was going along. Just a little bit, just enough, I
have to rewatch it now, but with that in my mind.
Yeah, it'll stick out. Just an incredible actor. I love Oscar. He's, I haven't seen anything I haven't liked him in. There's movies I've seen of his that I didn't like, but it's not that I didn't like him in it. Hashtag sucker punch. And Maya Goff, like, what an incredible young actress this woman is. I think she identifies as a woman. Sorry, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. Really, really exceptional in Nymphomaniac, the Lars von Trier film. Yeah, like just power and grace in the frame, and she's got classical style, and she's so interesting in this because she wants to be tough, but she's really quite soft. You know, the character, and she plays that so well. Like the wanting to, because Victor's very charming, and she can't help but be brought in by his charms. But it doesn't mean she wants to fuck him or anything. But she at least wants to give him the time of day, even though it's a mistake.
There's affection, and then there's lust.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's right. You can even be attracted to someone and have it not be about lust as well. You can find them attractive and want them in your life and have it not be, I want to fucking do mouth stuff with this person. Even though every single person in this movie, I would happily do mouth stuff to. There's a lot of really good looking folk here, and I don't care if they're made up of different parts of other people. Anyway, just want to talk quickly about the distinct moving with intent that the cinematography has, both in the way that, we're moving the camera and setting things up, but also the way that it's shot. It is, like I said before, it is opposed to that common sort of flat-ass digital look from The Running Man I was talking about. It has a DNA and a texture and a tone, and it's a very distinct palette, and it's not afraid to be dark where it needs to be. Dan, I think it's Lustson, who was also the cinematographer on Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, and John Wick 4, which is, I remember talking about when it came out, saying it's one of the best shot movies. It's, this is what should be going on in cinematography these days. Just incredible. Shooting into light. Like, backlighting always looks great, but shooting into the light and having it plume in the frame and be that beautiful ambers and greens and reds, and what GDT is saying when he uses those colors is really particular as well. And every single shot, you set that shot earlier today, like, this is one of my favorite shots from a film this year, and it's the creature standing on the ice, Oh, hey, buddy. Sorry, I've got a cat on my back. All of them could be framed and put on a wall. It's that beautiful looking,
Yeah, I was just looking at he did I think all the John Wick, like John Wick 1, 2, and 3, and Parabellum is my favorite.
Right. Those movies are so well shot, and again, they've got a real identity. It's a visual identity that each film needs to have. And it's, GDT's got his colors and his type and his likes and things like that, but each film should feel different. There's a reason this is backlit, because these characters are searching for the light all the time. Whether it's Victor is searching for answers and searching for, the next stage of science. Heinrich is searching for a cure, Elizabeth is searching for peace and purpose, and the creature is searching for humanity. They're always chasing the light, and I love that so much. So we start, as is a movie's want, in 1857, furthermost north. As I said, beautiful big lens work, and we find this ship, this freighter, stuck in the ice, and they end up finding Victor. This is the end of his story, basically. And then the creature shows up and performs what can only be described as a Hellboy style fight with the sailors, and proper horror, like ends up tearing faces off and limbs off and cracking open heads, and it's just exceptional. And what I wanted to ask you is why is being made out of all bits of people make you super strong?
I think it has to do with, like, just the amount of strength he has, but also like the way that his heart beats, I guess, because that's something that they don't really go into, and I don't really think it's a heart that's beating. I think it's just a battery. But also the fact that he can't die, meaning that to a certain extent, he can take damage that doesn't affect him. And just like superhuman strength, because it's been in that mythology for so long that it's like it's acceptable when it comes from Frankenstein. Because I did this. I was gonna try so hard not to do this. No, I called him Frankenstein, but he's the creature.
Yeah, it's hard. It's the creature. Yeah.
But yeah, it's also like it's acceptable.
I call him Tim.
Listen, man, I call him the spirit of the forest because that's the most incredible part of this film.
So great. Yeah, that's my favorite too. We'll get to it.
It plays into the misunderstanding of his inhumanity. That something so powerful and so ruthless can surely not be human. I can't have feelings, and he's a monster. But it's not. Yeah. Like the entire story is like disproving this misunderstanding, like this fundamental misunderstanding of who the monster is and who the victim is.
And it's the overarching idea of, even though he has been brutalized and he has brutalized, there is forgiveness to be had. You know, there's always a chance for redemption. You know, there's always a way to turn it around. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the beauty of the story. I haven't read the book. I bought it the other day because I'm flying to Sydney. I'm just going to read it on the plane. Maybe not the whole thing, but not on that one trip anyway. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how it relates to this. I'm pretty sure there's not a fucking wolf fight in it, but anyway, we'll get to that. So part one is Victor's tale that he relays to these sailors and tries to explain what the creature is. You know, you must put me back out on that ice. Fantastic. You know, again, talking about brutalization, there's all different types. And when your father doesn't love you and favors your brother William, and your mother dies in giving birth to him, you know, the man despised us both. It's just like you could see he wants to conquer death. Like that's the whole thing. I'm going to figure out how to conquer death. You know, you couldn't save her. I'm going to save her, you know. Right. And that becomes his whole line of thought, his entire life. So much so that he falls for a woman who kind of looks like his mum. Yeah,
it also it goes
the eyebrows aren't as aggressive.
Yeah, it goes into like what the Green Knight was as well. And it goes into like what he says as well. Like some of what I'll tell you is fact, and some of it isn't. But it did happen.
But all of it happened. Yeah.
Because
and they find he's got the brass leg. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, because like it also definitely goes into the unreliable narrator trope. Well, not trope because it's done well here, but it's also like his inability to grow up and to move on has shaped him into the monster that he's become.
He is. That's absolutely what he is. Victor Frankenstein is a monster, and you know, there's no mistaking it. He is so cruel to the creature. We'll get to it, but you know, in particular when he starts realizing that he's not learning the way that he wants to learn.
Yeah.
I can't help but think as well, when he's sitting back relaying this story and he's like, in my childhood, my mother was this and that and blah, blah, blah. And why didn't any of the sailors go, hang on a minute, mate, just what the fuck is with this monster thing? Like, stop telling me about your shitty childhood. What's the fucking thing that just tore the face off of my first mate? You know? What did we just spear and nothing happened? What is he, Wolverine, who hasn't been invented yet? But, you know, actually Wolverine would have been around back then.
Yeah, he was what?
1800s?
Yeah, he was 1800s.
Yeah, he'd have been a little kid. Maybe he didn't have any mutant powers yet, but shit. Anyway. Fucking hell. Oh, he wants to conquer death. He has the Dark Angel vision and he's like, that's what I'm going to do. He's giving the lecture. And how Victor isn't burned at the stake for this is fucking crazy. Yeah. Like,
also, I want to point
where he reanimates parts of a dead man, you know.
Yeah, I want to point out something. In that scene where he's giving the lecture, that there's the three judges, or like the professors basically. In the middle is Ralph Ineson. This makes Ralph Ineson part of the Green Knight, Nosferatu, Frankenstein, and the Witch.
And the Witch, yeah. And he's in Werewolf, the new Eggers film, isn't he?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. I thought I saw something about that, which they're shooting in 137, which is interesting. The old Academy ratio. That's much closer to a square, which is really awesome. Like I like that idea a lot. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. So we have this sort of seminar thing where he's showing, this reanimated husk of a body, like it's like fucking Cyborg before he got the mother box. He's just portions of a dude. It catches the ball and he's like, that's a thought process that's going on there. And then he pulls the
wire,
the needle out, and this creature dies horribly, like in agony. Like Victor is cruel. He is a cruel person. He does not see other people who he doesn't even see. Like when he goes to get the body parts from the people who are being hung, they're not even people. They're anybody who isn't of his stature and ilk, and isn't of his intellect, is a lesser being, and I find that abhorrent. Like and Oscar plays it so well. You're lucky to be hanged. You'd have been dead within a year. Like he just does not give a fuck about these people, and it gets worse and worse as time goes on. But during this lecture, we get introduced to Heinrich, who sort of wants to set him up with a lab with no preconceptions, but I may ask you for a favor, which eventually is that I need you to make me immortal because I have the full blown syphilis, and I have a cat under my chair again. Dude, I know it's dinner time. I'm sorry. And we also are introduced to Elizabeth, and she could not give a fuck about Victor, really. She actually thinks he's kind of a dick, which I really, really love. He like I said, he treats human beings as worse than animals in that respect, the way that normal people treat animals. They're just, for his science, they're body parts, There's that awkward dinner that they have.
Yeah.
Him and Elizabeth, where they're dancing, and wouldn't be proper. Oh, back to where he first meets Heinrich, and they're talking about it, and he's like, I'll think about it. And he's like, don't pretend to be reasonable now. It would be such a shame. I fucking love it. The dialogue in this movie is fantastic. When they get to the actual science part of it, and there's this sort of montage of him kind of building the creature. The prop work on these, isn't it? The one that's hunched over and has its back split open.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth comes in and looks at it, and they've kind of bonded over the butterflies. Incredible.
Yeah, it's also like, what surprised me is like the particular scene where he is cutting parts out of bodies and then making the body itself.
It's so funny because, like, before that, she's talking about choice being the seat of the soul, like, and all of this stuff, and she kind of spurns his advances, and he says, "Oh, for once I became more interested in life than death," and then it doesn't work out, and then they're on the battlefield body shop. And he's picking things out and like, don't take the ones that I make a cross on, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm going for long limbs. Scale will make the work easier. I'm like, fucking hell. And then immediately after that, the scene where he's creating the creature and he's cutting up the bodies in fantastically grotesque and comical fashion. The music is this fucking jaunty, making body parts, peoples. Like, it's absurd, but I love that sort of grotesque comedy that GDT does. And then all the body parts all that he hasn't used. There's blood like just caked on the ground. He's throwing bags of body parts into the sewer in just the most horrific fashion. Like it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Like just how they're able to make something so horrific so funny.
Yeah. It all just boils down to him, like Victor Frankenstein not having humanity. Like he doesn't understand it. Because Because if you do understand humanity, you understand that dying is a part of life. It's not the end of it. Right?
Oh, so well put. And that's so well put, man. You're absolutely right.
So for him to do the one thing to conquer death is to be a master of all things for himself. And the creature is the exact opposite. The creature is. There's a theory that I have as to why the creature doesn't speak anything other than Victor, and then at the end Elizabeth. For in like his tale, in Victor's tale.
In Victor's tale, yeah.
Which is through the inhumanity of Victor is born the most human and soulful creature ever put on this planet, who only understands kindness and love. And so the things that he understands is Victor, because the first time it's ever spoken to him is out of kindness and love, and never again is it ever spoken that way. And the only other time that something else has been spoken through kindness and love is Elizabeth as her name, when she tells it to him. And then his entire journey from this nomad to a learned person is through kindness and love from a stranger. And it is the kindness and love at the end that puts both of them together and realizes that they had to destroy each other to understand that they were the missing parts of each other.
That's some heavy dope, man. Like fucking, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. That cracked my mind open a little bit. Well, yeah, I mean, that, you know, particular that scene where so Victor, Harlander sabotages or tries to sabotage the experiment and, you know, falls to his death, and the steals the lightning strike apparatus, but it still works, and the creature is born, and Victor goes to sleep and he wakes up and it's there. And the creature starts out how we all do, as an innocent. And Victor is the proud father, and they have that beautiful moment where they're walking and he's like, yes, Victor, and they stand in the sun, and he puts his head to his chest to heal his heartbeat, and then he takes him down into the sewer and he's like, oh, watch out for the water. Oh, come on, we're going to step like this. And the first thing he does is chain him up.
Yeah.
And a few weeks he gets bored with it. You know, like the creature isn't learning anything. He's just having to look after it. He's becoming stronger, and it's taking more effort to care for him. He's an annoying puppy who just follows you around all the time, you know. And I like every time the boys follow me, I know this is very different, but, you know, just in terms of the way that you treat things that love you, the boys follow me around all the time. They get in amongst my legs and nearly trip me over. Every morning I open the door and Paul is there waiting for me, and he will just follow me around and look up at me with these big eyes. And I don't know what he sees or what he wants, really. I don't even think he understands it, but I know that it's love. And I would never, I get annoyed with him when he knocks over the water bowl, but he's doing that out of spite because I'm having a shower. Every time I'm not where he wants me to be, I hear meow, 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 and then thunk, and then splash. And it's like, oh, you little shit. But, you know, it's patience is always critical with the people that you love, because, you know, they're not always going to be these perfect things that you create, which is kind of what Victor wanted. When Elizabeth, like, it's the same scene actually, where he's like shaving his head or whatever, and, you know, he's like, he cuts his hand by accident. He holds onto the razor and cuts his hand, and then Isaac kills this line where he's like, don't touch me, don't ever touch me. Like, it's so horrifically brutal. Like, he's done at that point. He's like, I'm done with this thing. The creature heals. I don't know where he's getting Wolverine powers from, but it confuses Victor, and he realizes what a threat he actually could be. And Elizabeth, you're right, is the one who shows him true kindness, and that's kind of all it takes. You know, he follows the leaf. And there's a moment where she's down there and she's talking to him, and I thought to myself, does she want to fuck this guy? Does she want to fuck this?
I don't think so.
Made of a whole bunch of different people. And if so, it's necrophilia because he's a bunch of dead parts.
But he's alive. Despite everything, he is alive.
You're true. It's not a zombie, is it? It's a reanimated corpse, but it's not a zombie in the traditional sense.
And
you're absolutely right.
Despite all of Victor's efforts, he still has a soul. So he's
well. I mean, yeah, that's his his defining attribute, really. The creature or Victor?
No, the creature.
Yeah, that's right. It's his the fact that he is a creature, and yet like that is the big thing. You know, he calls him an it.
Yeah,
and she's like it, and he's like, yes, it. It is a creation. It is not a being or a person. It has no rights. You know, it has no reason. It is not of this world. So yes, an it. Horrible way to feel about a sentient feeling creature. Like if anything can cognize pain, it deserves to be treated with respect. Even the wolves. He says it later on. You know, the wolf doesn't hate the sheep. The hunter doesn't hate the wolf, but they are inexorably drawn together and violence is going to ensue, like by the nature of what they are, but they're not bad beings. It's at this point that Victor kind of loses his shit and realizes what he has to do. And burning down the house is a great name for a Talking Heads song, but it's also a little bit of an extreme thing to do to your own fucking pad, man. Like you could have just taken him up to the woods and left him there, or canvas bag in a canal or something like that. Horrendous. Because then what happens is you get blowed up and a big chunk of your leg comes off. That is unfucking real when he looks down and sees that the entire bottom half of his shin is gone and it's just spurting blood. And the pain and the moment before the pain, like, oh my God.
It's also the reason he runs back into the house is because the last thing he remembers of his mother is her screaming his name, and that's and the only thing the creature knows at that point to scream for is Victor.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
I don't think he feels guilty. I think he sees a way to reverse his trauma. That's why he goes into it. But I don't think if he would have gone into the burning house, I don't think he would have saved him. I think he would have made sure that at least at that point, the creature dies or appears to be dead. I don't think you would have saved him for even for a second. And
I think Victor's line in Seeking Life, I created death, like he feels like he actually kind of understands that he's wronged this creature as well. And it makes perfect sense that at this point the creature returns to the ship to exact his revenge, to take his pound of flesh. And he's like, the sailor says, we know who you are and where you came from. And he's like, oh, well, permit me to tell my story then. And the sailor's like, oh, for fuck's sake, we were just...
We just got on this shit, man. No, you too.
No, fucking, can we just figure out whether or not you're evil and move on? Like, we've got to get out of this ice. I love the shift of perspective. The camera language changes. The tracking shots change that sort of follow him down through the exploding shaft into the water. It follows him down there and he kind of wakes up in the mud. And then this part in particular struck me as an animal totem in like mythologically, but also spiritually, like within religious texts and spiritual texts, a fawn, a deer, the sacredness of that is incredibly powerful. And for that to be killed in front of him, and then he is shot himself without warning, it's no wonder he's a beast. You know, if you for a moment there, it was he understood something beyond the pain, you know, beyond what it was to be seen the way that Victor saw him. You know, this creature saw who he was and recognized no threat. You know, it didn't run. It took food from him. He almost became, you know, and then to have again human malice and misunderstanding be such a cause of pain towards him. Yeah, I feel like even though he kills a lot of motherfucking people in this movie, the creature, I sympathize with him in this version so much more than I have in other versions. And even like, even the original version, you know, like the original version, the picture from 39 or whenever it was, you know?
Yeah, I feel like because the film, and like I said, I don't remember the 30s version, and I don't quite remember like or know any of the other adaptations of dealt into it, but this does put Frankenstein into the category of the monster. Like his brother dies, like his brother's last words are that you are the monster, and I feel like mostly the depiction of the creature has been an experiment gone wrong. And when you start off with just saying that it's an experiment gone wrong, you take away what it actually represents, which is the humanity that Victor never had. And like it's all there in like the confrontation. I know I'm jumping around a bit, but like it's all there in like the one line in the confrontation at the like the night before the wedding, that, you know, the miracle isn't that I should speak, the miracle is that you would ever listen. Because because there is no, because he comes back to his creator to ask for more of him, because he feels outside of this world. Like the people who he loves die. Like the one person who was so kind to him died because of humans. So he doesn't want humans. He wants somebody like himself. And Victor says, "Yeah, create another monster." And they're like, that there is him dissociating. Like I think this film makes a very valid case of who the monster is. You know, it's not the creature. The creature is the consequence, and that he's only treated as a consequence because Victor lacks the humanity to ever like treat him as human, to treat him as like a parent with a child. Like it's like it is the tale of nurture versus nature. Like it's not like, it's like Victor wanting to have a child, but not the patience for a child to grow into the person that he would then have a conversation with. Like Victor is a child who wants a toy so bad and then gets bored with it the moment that he has it.
Yeah, or the moment that he realizes it doesn't work the way that he wants it to. Like you say, "Mum, get me a Ninja Turtle. I really want a Ninja Turtle. I want Donatello." And she comes back with, you know, swimsuit Donatello or fucking, you know, one of the variations of the toys. Like, "I want a Batman toy." And she comes back with Sub-Zero Batman and his costume's white. And you're like, well, this isn't the shit that I wanted. This isn't what I talked about, you know? Slight variation. Yeah. You were much more articulate in saying what you said. You need to write a piece on this movie, man. Like that
I'm thinking about it too, because it's...
Do.
It's like... It's also like... And this is because this is my first time like watching a GDT film. It's... I have seen people complain about like how it is taken the word gothic and then made it into a fairy tale. And I feel like the people who said that, I wrote this in my review as well, like that's a fundamental misunderstanding of what goth is. You know, it's like saying metal music is just people screaming. It's not. it's soulful, and it's quite literally so much so it's quite more soulful than you could ever imagine, because it's because like how we discovered in The Legend of Ochi, a person or a child's most purest form of emotion is its scream.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Of all of the musicians I've ever worked with, from pop stars to throat singers, the people who engage in metal and the variations therein are always the most articulate and emotionally expressive people, just as in conversation, and incredibly intelligent as well. So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, like the same thing goes with goth. Like it's not like dark hair and eyeliner and fucking fishnets and nail polish. It's the understanding of the light and dark existing together, right? It's the misunderstanding of that, which was the initial form of the Salem witch trials, which is another thing. But like, yeah, it's yeah, like, and it's the same misunderstanding that Victor has. Is like, the death is permanent because our condition is being human. If you don't understand that, you have a fundamental misunderstanding of why you're here. And that's why I said that, like, it takes them both to destroy everything they knew and each other to understand that if Victor would have learned humanity from the creature, and creature the intelligence of Victor, they would be complete as people. And they
learn that too late.
They learn that too late.
Yeah.
And yet it is the creature that brings forgiveness, and Victor that brings fear to the ship.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you should definitely write a piece on this, man. That was some of the most well fucking spoken film journalism I've ever heard. You were talking before about the spirit of the forest. He becomes the benefactor of this family, and they're after they're attacked by wolves. They, the group of the family go to hunt the wolf, and you have the blind man, which is famous in all versions of this story. But in this, it's a little bit. It's really particular because the blind man shows him kindness because he has no senses with which to judge the creature, And I think we could all learn a little bit from that because if you lead with kindness instead of fear, you might help someone, and that it's like the old Taoist saying, the five senses make a man blind, because you can't rely on just that, like you what you see and hear and feel can be, misinterpreted in a moment because you see what you think is I mean, I'm not saying like go up to a bear and try and give it a hug, but you understand that, this is an unusual looking being, but it's still worthy of your kindness and your time and your patience as well. Like, patience is really critical. It's a beautiful scene. It is a real shame, when what happens. I did remember thinking at one point when the blind man was like, make this your home and I your friend, and the creature says, and for a brief moment, the world and I were at peace. I thought, is this blind guy going to fuck this guy? Or, I mean, does he want to make this your home and I your friend, and this can be your bed, a squeezy. Okay, anyway, I'm getting very serious. And I think the creature understands, the wolves kind of frame him, which is fucked up, and he gets shot at. Wherever he goes, death follows, and he also discovers at this point that he cannot be killed. And in knowing that, his life is eternal and that he will never be accepted the way that the blind man accepted him, the way that Elizabeth accepted him, he returns to Victor on the night of Victor's brother's wedding to Elizabeth to seek a companion. The bride of Frankenstein, as you were. Victor's won't do it, you know. You're a wicked deformity. Victor's kind of a bigot at this point. Oh,
yeah.
And
well, he's always been that.
Elizabeth... Yeah, I feel like even more now because he had the opportunity to learn and grow. He lost his leg, for crying out loud. It should humble him, and it doesn't. You know, he doesn't become humble until he realizes just what has happened and that this creature will never stop. You know, you only understand you only listen when I hurt you. Just supremely powerful a scene where he finally gets that. You know. Victor shoots Elizabeth by accident and blames the creature
immediately
after beating him for being an obscenity. Yeah, it's like right away, and then you know William gets killed by the creature and says to Victor, I fear you, Victor. I always have. Like that's it. He is removed from humanity now. Any part that any idea that he could hold on to that part of himself is completely gone now. He goes on the hunt for big game. And like you said, the image of the creature standing in the distance, like in the horizon, is so arresting. You know, it's. I would love to have that as like a really cool, like proper 16:9 poster on the wall. Just really, really beautiful.
It's also like at that point, he knows that he went out to hunt, but he's the one being hunted now. Like he knows that the tables have turned. And it's the game of fucking death for the creature, because that like dynamite scene is incredible, because he lights it up and he holds it and then he says, now run. And it is godly. Like the fucking explosion itself and the way it like throws Victor away. And it's not like he flies away like 15 feet. It's his leap and that's it. But it's also like it's all of Victor's fears come to life, where like in front of his eyes is this creature that he created, who is now begging him to kill him because there's nothing else for him to be, until he gets the fucking blessing from his father to live by the end.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's you know, it kind of brings us full circle. You know, the father dies, and the son accepts who he was and who he is. You know, accepts who his father was and accepts who he is. You know, you're alive. What recourse do you have but to live? And he goes out back onto the ice. Victor passes, and that's it. You know, cut to black with the shot ending on the creature's acceptance of self. Like that's kind of the whole journey, really, for him and for us. You know.
Yeah, and it's also mirrored as the first time we see his face fully is the sunlight hitting him when Victor opens the curtains, and we end on the sunlight hitting his face.
Life. The sun is life. Absolutely exceptional picture, everybody. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. Beg, borrow, or steal your Netflix subscription and enjoy it. There's a great making of documentary about the film on there as well. There's also a documentary about Guillermo del Toro coming out. I think it's next week or maybe later this week, just about him as a creator on Netflix too. So get as much indie as you can. Addy, you need to see more GDT films.
I do.
Start from the beginning. And by starting from the beginning, I mean find me a copy of Kronos that's got subtitles. God damn it. And yeah, it's a beautiful film. It can't be missed. Do you want to do favourite moments, favourite lines, favourite massage techniques?
Yeah.
I like the chop one. I like where they do the chop. Or where they get a Toblerone and just run it up and down your back. That's quite nice too.
What are we talking about again?
I don't know. Massage techniques.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Did I miss something about 12 the Roots?
Yes, you did, clearly.
Yeah.
Favorite line or moment, 1, 2, 3.
I think my favorite line truly is, the miracle isn't that I should speak, the miracle is that you would ever listen. It's just all of the feelings that he was feeling since he was born come to life from his word. Like, finally be able to say it to him, you know?
That's the equivalent of a petulant teenager saying, "Fuck you, you don't understand me."
That's so true. That is
it is
very true.
100%.
Also, the shot that I sent is the shot of him from the back at the end of the film. It's not the haunting shot. It's after it's all gone.
Yeah, you could tell because there's the sun on the horizon. Yeah, and then it gets the reverse.
I feel like that shot, but it's also because my other favorite shot of this year, of like the films that released this year, is the same kind of shot in Sinners, which is the last time I saw my brother, is the last time I saw the sun. It's that shot, and then it's the shot. It's just the scene with the leaf where he's just playing with the leaf.
Oh, so beautiful.
And he goes all the way to the duct, and he can't follow the leaf, and so he goes back and finds another leaf. All plays into so Jacob Elordi is fantastic in this, and I hope that
the physicality that he brings, you know, and the how he learns over time to understand his body, and the kind of strange sort of like articulation of his fingers that he does, and it's an Oscar worthy performance.
Yeah. Also, like, huge fucking shout out to the big agers and like the explosions, the huge batteries underneath the tower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the sets and the props and the dressing and all that stuff. It's state of the art. Like, it's just people at top of the crafts, people at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And you have to be. It's GDT. Like, you know, he demands it.
Like, I genuinely...
not demands it, but you want to do that work for him because you know that that's his shit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I watched this, and then the next day I told my dad, if you have the time and you want to watch something you've never seen before, you should watch Frankenstein. It was like...
Yeah, you would love it.
It's a tale about humanity at the end of it all.
That's all it ever was, I think, is you know, even the book and multiple adaptations, even ones that are, you know, not as thoughtful as this one. That has always been the seed of it. Yeah.
What about you?
My ones, I'm going to say shots. Actually, I'm going to say shots. And most of them with the creature. There's one is with Victor, and he's cutting the knee of one of the cadavers, and the backlight behind him coming through that huge window, and it's just like I said, every shot you could frame, it looks like a painting, just so beautiful. The next one is when the creature ends up where all of those bags of bodies ended up.
Yeah.
And he finds a skull, and he holds it just before the deer comes, and he holds it up, this moss-covered skull, and he's got this Hamlet moment. You know what I mean? The Hamlet moment where he's holding, you know, the Yorick. And that's just, the slow dolly in is just wonderful. But the one that got me is, and is my favorite line as well, for a brief moment, the world and I were at peace, and he's sitting on the roof of the farmhouse, you know, with the dusk coming behind him, and, you know, a legitimate moment of peace for this tortured creature. Yeah, it was stunning, absolutely stunning work.
Yeah, I love that this gives me the opportunity to not call him the creature, but to call him the spirit of the forest.
Yeah, that's you're so right. That's definitely, and you know, he would go on to be that in different forms, I'm sure, you know, whether it was in frozen tundra or you know, finding his way back to some sort of civilization.
Maybe he was the Green Knight.
But yeah, maybe he was the Green Knight. You're absolutely right. That's Frankenstein from 2025, directed by Guillermo del Toro, out on Netflix now. Do check it out. Do we have any questions at the moment?
We do. So one asks, which has been your favorite version of Frankenstein? So like in a film or a TV show?
Yeah, I mean, this is up there, but I feel like they had more of an opportunity to work with the characters is Penny Dreadful. The character of Victor Frankenstein and the creature are both in that. And it's fantastic. I love that fucking show so much. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. But this is pretty high up there too. I love the 39 version. It's really great, but yeah.
Is the 39 version with like the screws in the neck?
I don't know if he's got screws in his neck, but he's definitely, it's Boris Karloff and he's got the whole
It's the square
head. I think the
square
screws
head.
in the neck is from fucking the Munsters, but yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly.
All right. Yeah, for me, it's this is up there, obviously, but it's just this and Good Things are both tied because they're two sides of the same coin.
Poor Things, you mean?
Yeah, I called it Good Things pretty, like before I saw. Yeah, Poor Things.
Oh, did you? I knew what you meant though. Yeah, the Yorgos Lanthimos film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a.
Was it Yorgos or was it Luca Guadagnino?
No. It was.
Oh no, it was
Yorgos.
definitely Yorgos. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because he did Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, and then Begonia.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, like I love these two because they're two sides of the same coin, but also in Poor Things, Willem Dafoe is like the Frankenstein adjacent, but he doesn't hate her, like he nurtures her as his daughter.
Yeah,
and
he just wants to stop her putting fruit up her cooter.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. Yeah. And like, you know, I love how that story ends up because like she goes out, explores the world and finds who she is.
Yeah.
And this film ends on that note. Like, you know, he is.
Yeah, we just get to that point, and then it's you know, picture close.
It's also just it's so brilliantly done though. Like I want to watch it again and again and again because it's there's so much. And like it's not that like the themes that this film has and the way that they explore it and the way that it's so aesthetically pleasing, it's so rare for a film to be this way. And like to actually hit home on these themes, like to actually have the message of humanity in it. It's how I feel about.
That's why Netflix is the only place that Guillermo could go to do it because they're the ones who give him the money and the time of day. You know, an actual studio isn't going to release this in cinemas because it's not going to do any money. You know, people are too busy fucking going to see, you know, Minecraft or Super Mario Brothers or something like that, or whatever the next sequel, reboot, whatever it is. You know, like this is an actual piece of film literature in a lot of ways, and that's just, DL said it the other night. It's just not going to make money for people. And that's what it is, you know. They've got to make money in order to be able to make the next thing and the next thing. But unfortunately, the next thing are just the next thing and the next thing that are going to make money. You know, it's not like. But then again, I mean, Warner Brothers is like, we can totally afford to lose money on one battle after another, which is my film of the year so far, by the way. It's fucking fantastic, 5 stars. They can afford to lose money on that, you know, with huge, big, you know, 70mm releases because they fucking made so much bank with Minecraft.
I'm not making a great case for WB, obviously, but they also did, like, they made Sinners and they made One Battle After the Other and Weapons, all 3 of them that were not going to be big, huge money makers. But they do that to have, like, they do fucking Minecraft and, like, all this shit to have that.
Yeah, and Superman and, you know.
Superman.
It's yeah, absolutely right. Excellent. What was the other question?
Right. So last question.
Is there another one?
Yeah. Last question is: what old school monsters would you like to see given a similar treatment?
I mean, my answer is always the same. It's Creature from Black Lagoon, which is my favorite of the old school, you know, Warner Brothers Dark Universe monster movies. So I'll try and think of something else. I mean, the Wolfman's kind of had its go. Werewolf will be interesting. The Robert Eggers picture. Wolfman was really good. The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro. I like that movie, the Joe Johnston film. I think it's really good. I love werewolf movies, so just trying to think of something a little bit offside. The Bride comes out soon with Christian Bale playing the creature, and it's directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I can't remember the name of the woman who's playing the bride. Jessie Buckley, thank you, Christ. She's fantastic. So that's coming out as well. But in terms of old school horror, Dracula's been done to death. A proper Van Helsing movie.
You stole my fucking answer. I was gonna say like a proper like Dracula film, like how Castlevania is a meditation on the condition of not being human, but loving humans.
Well, I mean, I would like to see. You remember how when they did a Sherlock Holmes movie with Ian McKellen, and it was like his last case, and he'd aged, and he was a bee farmer now. Yep. I can't remember what it was called. It was just called Mr. Holmes or something like that.
It was called Mr.
I'd like
Holmes.
to see it. Yeah, I'd like to see a version of that with Van Helsing, and fucking cast Ian McKellen. I don't give a shit. Where he's an old guy and the Dracula thing is done. Like Dracula's dead, and he's what is that? It's what happens when the fucking Wile E. Coyote finally catches the Roadrunner. Where does he go after that? You know what I mean? That could be really interesting. Or do like a version of it that isn't like the Van Helsing movie we got with Hugh Jackman. The Stephen Summers picture, like do something that's a little bit more, quiet and meditative, and a bit more like From Hell than it is. Sorry, just hit my mic. From Hell than it is like, fucking Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which is a fucking dope movie, by the way. I like that movie a lot.
Having had the previous with Castlevania and like how, like majority of that show is a suicide letter from Vlad Dracula because his wife was murdered for having a relationship with a Dracula, and the reason he couldn't save her is because he was traveling as a human, because he had understood and tried to appreciate the ways of humans because his wife was human. It's
right.
It's like that. It's like 4 seasons long, and it's a suicide letter because he is so tired and he just wants to die, but he can't. So he needs this war to kill him.
That's beautiful. I still have to go back. To Castlevania. Thank you, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Graveyard Smash. We'll see you next week. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but fuck, it's going to be a good time because it's always a good time here. I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Thanks for doing a double. We've been talking for like 4 hours. It's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Thanks very much, everyone. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And remember, fuck hate.
Love Vince.